Today, let's take a look at how Google Translate can help us in our family history research. Of course, it's not as good as the native language speaker, but it's pretty good for those moments when we look at a document and we say to ourselves, "What the heck does that say?" To find Google Translate, go to the Google apps at the top right of the Google homepage. Scroll down to find the Translate app. You can also use the Translate app on your Android and iPhones. When you click on the Translate app, this is the window that pops up. The left-hand side is where you put your information to be translated, and the right-hand side is where the translation appears. You'll want to make sure that you are assigning the language you want for your translations. On the left, you can see where it says Detect Language. Usually, I have that set on English, but I forgot to change it before I took the picture. You can use Detect Language if you don't know the language of the item you have. The two boxes at the top are the drop-down menus to change to other languages. As it is set now, whatever you put in the box on the left will be translated into Spanish in the right-hand box. The larger box in the middle has a spot for your history, things you have saved, and a place to contribute with other people. I truthfully haven't used those features at all, so you are on your own to learn about those. There are 3 ways to get your translations: by typing your text to be translated in the left-hand box, by clicking a document and uploading a document from your computer in various formats into the box to be translated, and by clicking on websites and entering a website in the box. I'll show you an example of each of these in the upcoming slides. Here's a list of the languages that Google Translate covers right now. Of course, there are other programs that will translate like Google does, so you may want to try those out too. Here's an example of typing text in the boxes. If you look, you will also see a microphone next to the speaker on the left-hand side. Google gives you the ability to speak your text instead of typing it. I created a simple headstone that you might see in a Jewish cemetery. I wanted to see what it would look like in Hebrew, as I have been working with the patron and his Jewish ancestry. On the right is what the translation to Hebrew looks like. Remember that Hebrew is read from right to left. Also, I wanted to know what it sounded like in Hebrew, so I just hit the little sound button.
כאן טמון ישראל רובינשטיין נולד ב-1827 נפטר בשנת 1877, תהה נשמתו קשורה בקשר של חיי נצח.
Remember that not every language has recorded sound, but many of them do. It is interesting to hear what your text sounds like in that language. The next option is to translate a document. I'm going to translate this document from English to Russian. You have the option to choose a document in several different formats. You need to remember that your document has to be in one of the approved formats. The program won't recognize a scan of a document, even if the document was a PDF to begin with. I've chosen to use my Aunt Teresa Straczynski-Brunsky's obituary for the demo. My document has been uploaded, and the next step is to click on the blue translation button. Now it's time to download the translation. This is what the translation looks like. It was machine translated, and a native speaker would probably find some flaws in it. But I can take my handy-dandy Russian alphabet cheat sheet and find the important information that this obituary contains, and that was my goal. Of course, my original was in English, but it was fun to see how I would use the translate tool if the obituary was in another language to begin with. I would have just reversed the process. The third way to use Google Translate is with websites. Much of the time, I find that websites will automatically change to English, but once in a while, it doesn't work that way. Google Translate comes in very handy for that. This site is one of those times. It's a Wikipedia article about Verbalis, a small village where one branch of my family lived in the 1800s. The Wiki article was in Lithuanian. I wanted to read it in English. I put the web address in the box. I also made sure that I clicked that the original website was in Lithuanian and that I wanted it translated into English. I also could have just marked Detect Language. The Wiki page in Lithuanian. This is the Virbalis Wiki page in English. A little bit about Virbalis. It is 8 miles from the Russian border of the Kaliningrad Oblast, or region. Kaliningrad is part of Russia, but it is sandwiched between Lithuania on the north and Poland on the south. It is an interesting part of the world, part of Russia, but the landmass not connected to Russia in any way. That's my history lesson for today. That was a short trip around Google Translate. I hope that you will find it helpful in your research. And as always, please visit the BYU Family History Library for more about one-on-one help, both virtual and in person, classes, and library resources. And be sure to subscribe to our BYU Family History YouTube channel for more short family history videos and in-depth webinars. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.